Hello, welcome to Skill Check, the positive gaming podcast from YMC Exeter. My name is Andy.
And my name is Becky.
And yes, we're still doing this kind of old school year 2020 era kind of feel about it. One could even say I've got a COVID beard thing going on.
There's progress on that though, because we have got a building, which is a good start.
Yes.
So there's a building. It will be usable at some point.
Yes, we might even be able to do something in person next week. What that looks like, what that will be,
who knows?
I think we might find out when we actually.
It'll be fun.
It'll all be okay.
Yeah.
So, coming up, we have gaming news.
Gaming news. We're gonna have a lot of gaming news this week.
Yeah. We've got gaming news. We've got gaming news. We've got gaming.
We've got more gaming news.
Scrolling down and down.
What game of the week is it this week?
This week's game of the week is Lost Words Beyond the Page, a beautiful kind of almost art-like game that's framed through someone writing in a journal, which
interesting.
So yeah, I guess we should just crack on with gaming news.
Yeah.
Now it's time for gaming news. Becky, what have we got?
Gaming news. Our first piece of gaming news this week is GTA 6 trailer. A first glimpse of the sixth game in Grand Theft Auto series has finally been revealed after the trailer for the game was leaked online. Surprise, surprise. Developer Rockstar press published 15 hours before a heavily tailored release after a low-quality version started circulating online. The 90-second trailer confirmed the game will be set in a Miami-inspired Vice City and stars a female protagonist for the first time since the 1990s. The game is not set to be released till 2025. The latest main game in the series will be a sequel to the 2013 smash hit GTA 5, which became the second best-selling video game of all time following Minecraft. Have you watched it, Andy?
Yes, I have. I think I watched it pretty much the night when it came out.
Well,
it just lit up kind of social media.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a few notifications through. It looks amazing. It looks very nice. I mean, yeah, questionable if there's any actual gameplay footage.
Oh, do you know, that's what I said. I was thinking, watching it, going, there's nothing that says it's actual game footage in the little, because normally they put in the small print, like, not actual game footage or actual game footage or whatever, in the like little bit at the bottom with a little asterisk, and there was nothing. And I was like, is this actual game footage, or is this like just computer generated for this situation?
But a teaser trailer, considering that it's not coming out for console until 2025, whatever that means. You know, we're at the end of 2023. Are we looking at a year and a bit's time? Or are we looking at best part of 2 years' time?
2 years, yeah. It's really interesting to see.
Quite far off, and yeah, it's not coming to PC at launch either from looks of it. So
he's sad, Andy.
A little bit actually, and probably more so than I was expecting to be. I wasn't expecting to be this kind of interested in the next GTA game. Not a massive fan. I haven't been for a while, but it looks good. And maybe I've got a soft spot for Vice City. It was a setting of one of the old trilogy games. I don't know.
It's amazing, really, that this game is not set to be released for between 1.5 and 2 years, probably. And yet, this is all anyone's talked about for the build up to it's going to be amazing. If it's a disappointment, people are going to be so sad. Because the build
there's going to be problems at launch because there always is for this sort of game.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
It's got to be tip top when they first release it.
Oh yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe having it not released for quite a few years for a PC might be a good thing because from the looks of it, you're gonna need it to have a powerful machine at home in order to play it at all. So
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if the graphics in the trailer are the actual gameplay graphics, then yeah, you're gonna need some serious power to play it because they were very pretty.
yeah,
So,
we'll see.
and very like realistic-y looking. Yeah, interesting. Our second piece of gaming news this week is Sony has debuted its first PS5 controller for disabled gamers. The company have teamed up with accessibility experts to release a PS5 controller with highly customizable kit. It features different kinds of buttons and sticks that let players create a setup that suits their needs. Microsoft have already had an adaptive controller that has been on the market since 2018 and can be used with Xbox and PC. Designing accessible controllers can be a massive task as every disabled person's impairment is unique to them and gaming technology is always evolving. Sony plans to tackle this problem through this highly customizable, making it possible for each person to tailor the solution to their own individual requirements. The buttons on the new accessible controller are all customizable and movable to allow players to find a setup that suits them. It looks really cool. Have you seen it? Have you seen the pictures?
I have to admit, I haven't.
It looks so it's basically like a round pad, and then they have a
Mm,
joystick on the bottom, and you can literally take the buttons off and move them around so that then you can set it up for yourself.
I think I saw an early kind of model, maybe.
Yeah, we did
Kind of
talk about
rings
this
a
not long
bell.
ago. It's
Uh,
not, yes, it's now been released, but like the reviews are really good. There were a few little complaints, like it doesn't have a left joystick. So if you're trying to do something
oh,
that requires both joysticks, it
okay.
creates a bit of a problem.
Hmm.
Um, but like the general reviews are that it makes gaming much more accessible for different people. So you can literally set it up to the way that your hand moves, basically. Um, yeah, it's really interesting. Um,
I'm now being distracted by looking it up.
yeah, yeah.
Doing that whole
If
kind
you
of
don't,
research thing we should have done beforehand. But
yeah, yeah. If you research it, do have a
hmm,
look at it because it is. I mean, it's a really fascinating bit of kit. So whereas like Xbox's one is quite set, this is very, very customizable, and it means that it should be like quite long lasting because that means that as gaming equipment evolves, like it'll mean that you can use it for different things and set it up in a different way. So you won't have to like buy a whole new controller. You can just change the way that the thing works. Um, but yeah, you can literally swap the buttons over.
yeah, it looks like they're really kind of pushing how changeable this
Yeah,
controller is.
yeah.
As a disabled
I
gamer myself, I waited years for button remapping to become the norm, so I was able to play the games that rely heavily on the trigger buttons usually placed at the back of a traditional controller, be able to map them to a more accessible button. This was working
yeah,
around our solution. This controller makes that a more accessible reality. So I
yeah.
guess what it's doing is it's making the button remapping that you
Hmm.
normally do in game, if that's an option,
Yeah.
and making it kind of more tangible.
Mm. Yeah, and it means like so with obviously with setting up in games, generally they have like certain setups that you can set your controller to. And then if you want to like customize it more, it's a bit more complicated. So actually this is just like giving people the choice and then actually being able to go and go, okay, that works for me, that doesn't work for me, like that kind of thing. I also do
Mm.
wonder whether it will catch on just with like normal controllers, whether that will be a thing for everyone. Because I was thinking, like, I don't have a physical disability, um, but I struggle with like coordination and
Mm.
like sometimes with gaming, I find using two joysticks at the same time complicated.
Mm.
So actually, for me, even for people like me, where I'm like, that might, I might be better at that. Then it was always why I struggle with Fortnite because I can't do the whole moving around and then moving the camera around at the same time.
For record, I'm smiling because of memories of us playing Fortnite
Yeah,
and Me, oh no, I think you were dying in a river or something like that. And
I did
we
do
should
that.
probably reshare that footage one day.
Yeah. Um, but it's whenever there's a game for me where you have to move the camera and the person at the same
At
time,
the same time.
I I find it too complicated.
Hmm.
And I struggle because I mean, I'm sure that if I practice more, it's one of those things. I'm like, if I practice more, I'll probably get it. But
Hmm.
I still like I always end up looking at a floor because I'm like that. Go, why am I looking at the
I look
floor?
at the on a regular basis. It's absolutely
Okay.
fine. That's
Um,
brilliant. I
yeah,
mean,
but
good news. I hope to see more of it, I guess.
yeah. Our final piece of gaming news this week is so our final piece of gaming news this week is the middle bit because it's such a big piece of news. We thought we would put it in the middle bit. It is the Game of the Year awards.
And there's so much to talk about.
There was a
There's
lot to talk
so
about.
much there. If you're not sure what the Game of the Year Awards is, well, it is exactly what it says on the tin, realistically speaking.
Yeah.
But imagine it more like from the American Super Bowl, um, where you've got the main event, and the main event
Then
in that case is the American football.
yeah.
But you've also got the trailers, and you've got
Yeah.
everything. You've got all the adverts. You've got all the advertising, and basically everyone goes, right. We've got so many people watching this show. We want to get our message out.
Mm.
So, so we've got the Game of the Year awards, where it is a celebration of the big games of the year that's gone before. But there's also loads of kind of announcements and trailers and things to look out for that is announced at exactly the same time as part of the show itself. So, excuse me.
Do you want to go with which one was the Game of the Year first? We're gonna go there first, or we're gonna go like what the announcements were first?
Oh, are you happy if we do the announcements first?
Let's
Just
do the
good.
announcements
Yeah, why not?
first.
So announcements first. I mean, there's a ton of announcements. Just a very quick look through. So, Lego Fortnite was announced. Well, came out 2 days ago, I think.
Came out.
Yeah. Lego Fortnite.
What?
From the
I want
looks
to
of
play
it,
that. I mean, I don't really like
me,
Fortnite, but that sounds amazing.
me too. I was watching videos about it yesterday, and we have not had a chance to dive into it yet. Basically, it looks like some sort of weird cross between Minecraft, a Lego game, and some sort of survival game, and with a little bit of Fortnite.
Yeah.
It was not, and I'm happy to admit I might have been watching something slightly different. It might be a different mode. Because when I heard about Lego Fortnite originally, I was picturing Fortnite with Lego
But with
characters,
Lego characters. That's what I was picturing.
and that's it.
Yeah.
But there's like loads of other stuff appears to be involved as well. Like there's a little bit of farming and growing food, and
What?
I know, I know,
Not
I need
Fortnite.
I need to go on a holiday so I can play this game. You know,
I think maybe we should do it like after Christmas as like a little special.
I'm happy to do that. We can just have a special where we just sit down and play Lego Fortnite.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's Lego Fortnite. During the Game of the Year awards, there was the announcement of Rocket Racing, which is an arcade racer built inside of Fortnite and absolutely free. Looks a bit like Rocket League in a kind of racing game
I know when you
form.
said Rocket Racing, I was like, is it Rocket League? Like racing instead of like
Well,
playing basketball, whatever it is we do when you or football.
and football,
Yeah.
yeah, probably, probably. There. So yeah, that's that, and that's out. So that's another game to get on
Wow.
with. There's a new Life is Strange game coming out,
Yep.
which this one looks a bit think Stranger Things.
Okay.
Definitely got Stranger Things vibe from it.
Mhm.
Um, in that there's that kind of slightly horror-esque tinge, as well as very much kind of there's an 80s feel.
Yep.
One I'm particularly excited about. You've got the Marvel's Blade game coming
Yes.
to Xbox. So
So
very excited
excited.
that we finally get a Marvel game after seeing Spider-Man go to PlayStation. Hopefully it comes to Game Pass, and hopefully, I can play it anyway. Or, Mike Sloan would be dim dramatically. God of War Ragnarok is getting free DLC. So free downloadable content. They can just kind of extends the game out. I think it's God of War Ragnarok Valhalla, which I could be wrong. Please don't hate me. But I believe Valhalla is meant to be kind of is it hell within Norse? No, it's not. It's heaven.
Valhalla is, yeah. Oh, I don't know. I'd have to watch Thor again to work out what Valhalla is.
Yeah. But
Either way.
my point is, it feels like that as a concept just seems like enough for its own game in itself.
Yep.
So as the DLC, this could be awesome. There is a sequel to Hellblade.
Yep.
Happy as well. There is Brothers Tales of Two Sons being remastered, and it looks amazing. And lastly, and I say lastly, there's a ton of other announcements. There is World of Goo sequel. 15
Great.
years. 15 years
Um,
after first came out.
yeah. Are you excited about that one, Andy?
Strangely, I mean,
Mm,
don't get me wrong, I'm
yeah.
bad at it.
There was also a Jurassic Park game announced, which I saw.
Yeah,
Which, that was quite a big announcement. Um, yeah, I mean, they're like, what was it? There was somebody saying recently that they were like, whether it just turns into one big trailer or whether it's an actual award ceremony. So it's a really interesting thing of like, it's a bit of a combination of like everyone tells you what games they're releasing, but also at the same time they're awarding the game of the year. So it's an
Did I
interesting
see
one.
something about the Jurassic Park game featuring Jeff Goldblum's daughter?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, let's have a quick. Or was
Yeah,
that just a random comment?
speculation.
Oh,
Um,
hang on.
it's a
Uh,
single player adventure game. Um, I
no.
mean, it's Jurassic Park. I don't particularly like Jurassic Park.
I might have made it up.
Made it up. Um, but it will get so we'll get a PC, Xbox release, PlayStation 5 release, but not a Switch release. Because
I
I presume
mean,
they're waiting for the next Switch.
yeah, we are now looking at. We're talking about games coming out at the end of next year, years
Yeah.
afterwards. Yeah, I think we're going to start to see, especially the higher end games, not coming out on Switch soon,
Switch,
or at least
yeah.
the announcements not happening for Switch because, well,
I can't like, do you know what? Really like surprised that they haven't announced the Switch 2 yet. Like, of all the things I was expecting, I was a bit like, that would have been a great thing to do last night.
yeah.
But who
I mean, it's
knows?
like
I mean, they
everyone is
know,
always waiting for it,
yeah,
but But would they do it so close to Christmas?
Yeah. I mean, I guess probably not now because they'll want people to still buy the Switch for Christmas, I guess.
And let's face it, the Switch isn't going away anywhere anytime soon.
No.
You know,
Um,
whilst you
we'll
might
also
have
just
the really big graphical heavy games not being released on it, you're still going to get Switch games. You're still going to get
yeah.
more kind of artistic games
Yeah.
released on it.
Oh, I mean, we'll have to see, won't we? Right, awards then. Let's go on to
Awards.
awards.
Okay.
Who was the big winner last night?
I mean, we could just say Baldur's Gate and all go home, you know.
I mean, it won quite a lot of awards. I was literally scrolling down the list going, oh, it actually won quite a few.
So
The
it
other
won the
one,
posters,
yeah,
100% voted on by fans.
nice.
Last of Us won the best video game adaptation because, of course, it should.
Because it was a great adaptation. I still haven't watched it. I was excited that Pikmin 4, which is a game that I really want to play, and is on my Christmas list for my play, won the best strategy game, and I was excited about that because that's like a game that I want to play.
Fantastic.
Um,
Forza,
you
gone.
Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Now that one I actually stayed up for, not purposely. It just happened to be the first one that was announced before my brain went, time to go to sleep now.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a beautiful video game. Fun for the risk of sounding really cheesy, fun for the family to play together, you know.
also on my Christmas list.
And so it should. Best
And
action adventure game, Legend of Zelda: Tears of Kingdom,
yeah, you were happy
which
that Legends of Zelda won at least something.
you know what, I
Yeah,
am, and it's a weird one because I'm not going to talk too much about it because we spent probably about 2 episodes talking about it.
we
One
did
of
talk a
which
lot about it.
uh, and very much made clear that I wasn't sure if I was going to get it or not because I played Breath of the Wild and I liked it. It's all right. Wasn't for me. So Tears of Kingdom, more of the same.
Yeah,
Maybe not. But yeah, I mean, it lit the world up. It still is a massive game. There's lots of new game mechanics in there. Yeah, good to see it recognized.
nice. Any other? I mean, so Forza won a couple as well. I
Yeah,
mean,
good to see there's the innovation in accessibility as
yeah,
a award. Um, one note was the best ongoing game, which is awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. So basically, uh, not a new game, but a game that's being worked on and kind of evolved
yeah,
um, over the years that it's been out. Cyberpunk 2077.
yeah.
I mean, I I could be wrong. Often am. Fairly certain it's like one of the first podcasts we ever did as skill check was about disappointment and dealing with disappointment.
Oh yeah, we did talk about
And
that a
that
while
was
ago.
in the context of Cyberpunk 2077 being a terrible, terrible game at launch.
Yeah,
And you know what? The words at launch are important. And the fact that it's just won this award for best ongoing game. I mean,
yeah. Have you?
redemption.
Is it better now? Is it loads better?
I mean, to be perfectly honest, when I used to play it, I played it on Stadia and it worked. And Stadia was one of the platforms known for getting Cyberpunk working well.
Yeah.
But from all reports, yeah, I mean they've got kind of the metros set up there now, which is
Yeah.
one of those that's kind of not promised, but very heavily insinuated was going to happen at launch.
Yeah.
Stability, you've got a lot, yeah, yeah. It's a far better game
Mm.
than it was. I'm not going to jump back into it only because I planned enough hours into it before the platform I was playing it on went away. I'm like,
Yeah.
I
It's not
don't
worth
want.
it. It's not worth going back
It's
into
not
it.
worth playing those hours again.
Yeah.
The same story again, and
Yeah.
see the same emotional beats. It's like watching the same movie, knowing exactly what the twists and turns are. It's not going to be the same second time
Yeah.
round. I'm like,
So the big winner was Baldur's Gate. Neither of us have played it, but it is on your list, isn't it?
so the main reason why I've not played it yet is because I've got to stop spending money at some point every now and then,
Yeah,
and
fair enough.
try and look for money to be saved somewhere. Um, so I'm looking, so I'm hoping that is part of the Steam winter sale.
And now it's time for Andy's game of the week. Andy, what is your game this week?
So it is Lost Words Beyond the Page, which,
Yeah.
as a side point, was originally a Stadia exclusive and is now out on other platforms. What is this game? So fairly unique-ish, I think. So what happens is that you play as a young aspiring writer called Izzy who keeps a personal journal. And through the journal, you have this game that takes place in a far out world called Historia, fantasy world that kind of is built up from the diary entries that Izzy keeps. The player character is so it's basically a game within a game. So in this Historia game, you have you play as a character called the Guardian of the Fireflies, and you must
Mm.
restore your and something happens to the village at the beginning. The fireflies fly, and you've got to go and find the fireflies and bring them back to the
Oh,
village.
it sounds
And
very cute.
face the dragon
Ooh.
destroyed the village. So I've talked about it being a game within a game. Basically, the game I've talked about so far is very much influenced by the real world turmoil that Izzy herself faces and Izzy
Okay.
writes about in her journal. Within the journal, the words are used as kind of platforms. So you have like words appearing on the screen and she writes them and she talks about what's happening and how she's feeling. And you kind of jump from like word to word and along lines, and you kind of see sketches appear as she is sharing memories of happier times and sharing memories of what's just happened. There's
Mhm.
options to kind of read additional text and additional sketches as well as the game moves on. Both of these game modes explore her emotions around the trauma, and both of these kind of game modes end up coming to an ending which doesn't fix anything. There isn't a fairy tale ending, but there is a level of acceptance which I guess enables Izzy to find a way through.
Mm.
Available on many platforms. Again, I've done it again.
You haven't looked it up, have
You
you?
can find it on
Every
PC.
time.
You can find it on mobile platforms. I had it on my
Mhm.
screen yesterday. I think you can get it on PS4 as well. Oh, and Xbox One.
Nice. And yeah, and that is all we have time for today. If you want to follow us on our social medias at YMCA Exit, at YMCA Exeter, and at YMCA Exeter Games. You can also follow us on YouTube. And if you do follow us on YouTube, please do like, subscribe, comment to all of our videos. And we will see you next week.
Take care.